Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey. Good evening. Well, morning, afternoon. It's been a long night here. My name is Derek Thomas. This is Lori Brown. We're the coordinators for BSides Tampa. We'd like to welcome you to the 6th annual BSides Tampa IT Security Forum. Now, as we look out, I see a lot of familiar faces and I see a lot of new faces. So for you guys who are new, this is your first time coming, give you a quick nickel tour of the whole entire event. BSides started 10 years ago in Las Vegas as an offshoot to some of the larger cons. What they want to do is actually have some type of smaller conference that allowed you to actually deal and speak directly with the speakers. And most of your large cons, you don't really have that opportunity. You're in a crowd of 3,000 and you may see the speaker maybe once as they walk through the crowd and leave. So what they did, they formed what they call BSides conferences. These are smaller conferences that will allow that particular ability for you to actually interact with the speaker. Then they franchised it. So now we are part of a family over 250 different BSides conferences, which are happening everywhere in Europe, North America, South America. I think they just recently had one in Moscow and all over the place. So we're one of the few oldest ones, but we still like our presence here. This is our 6th one. It's around 7 years ago, Lori came to me and said, you know what, let's have a conference. It wasn't so much out of, yes, we want to learn something new, it's that we're lazy. We didn't feel the need to actually travel all the way to Las Vegas and California or New York to go to a conference, and we had all this technology and talent in the Tampa Bay area. So we threw together this conference, and we had our first one at South University, which actually went really well, surprisingly, considering we have no idea what we're doing. We're untrained volunteers, so if you want to complain, remember, you get what you pay for here. But it actually came out well. You guys came back for the second one, third one, fifth, sixth, and seventh one. And throughout the years, we've got a chance to see everyone grow, and this became a special nerd prom for us, where we get to see friends that we only know through email or Twitter accounts and actually interact with speakers and trade information and talk shop. So thank you all for coming out. We definitely appreciate everyone.
I have a question. How many of you were actually at our first one? We had about 200 people. Wow. Thanks, you guys, for being repeat offenders.
All right. Couple of new announcements here. Changes from last year. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. This is not Stetson. We love Stetson. Stetson was a great place. We had a lot of good times, a lot of good memories, and a lot of good experiences, some good, some bad, but a lot of experiences there. But throughout the years, our conference has grown. This year we're pushing on 900 attendees, for this event. And as you can see, we're still kind of growing now. So we kind of had to outgrew Stetson. We had to move it here to a bigger facility. Even though it is bigger, we still try to keep everything low as possible. So you won't see all the flash pyrotechnics and laser lights as in most cons, because we charge as little as possible so that you guys can come and attend this. We are registered 501c non-for-profit, so we don't do this for money, even though, yeah, I need to pay off my student loan. We do it for fun. So we hope you enjoy it. Next, talk about lunches. When we had at Stetson, we had 4 different food trucks because there really was nothing close by to eat. But since we moved here, we decided to opt out for some of the food trucks, because we have a restaurant here and a bar, which opens at 2 o'clock. So around 3 o'clock, the giggles will start. And we also have a lot of restaurants on campus, and because we had such a great push for the barbecue, we actually invited our barbecue vendor back this year. So across the street, you'll see Johnny B's Barbecue. Please go ahead and use him. He's a great vendor. If you ever had great pulled pork or ribs, make sure you go to him. He started cooking today around 6 o'clock, so nice and tender around 11 o'clock. So enjoy it. Next, some of the things that we've done, we've actually tried to save a tree and started using the app, the Drift app. We kind of encourage everyone to use it because printouts become expensive, and we want to try to make it as cost effective as possible. And we also wanted to make sure that because we have a lot of speakers who arrive out of town, in case there's a problem, we want to be able to change it on the fly, and with the app we can. Speaking of changes, we actually do have one. Our good friend Evil Cat, She will not be able to make it this year due to snow in Chicago, of course. So she was originally scheduled to speak at a Salon E at 11 o'clock. She has been replaced by Brian, who will be doing a lockpick talk during that time. If you have the Drifter app, it's all transparent. So download it if you have to. Next, we'll talk about additional speakers. Traditionally, a majority of our speakers came from the Central Florida area, but we've decided to reach out to expand our scope. The reason for this is that as more and more companies move to Florida, more and more companies have different skills and unique skills and requirements that they're looking for. So just by getting the same speakers over and over, it gets kind of old. So we've reached out to a lot more speakers from different areas. So over half our speakers aren't from the Central Florida area or even from Florida. We have them as far as Switzerland, California, Chicago, and Israel. So all these speakers are great speakers who took their time out to come here, who battled the snow to come hang out in the warm humidity for a couple of days. So please make sure you thank your speakers when you go to their talks. Next, additional tracks. When I went into law school, there really was no talks about information privacy or data security. It was, it's computer, that's about it. And when I went to school for IT, there really was no talks about law or how data privacy laws affect us. As we see more and more breaches happen, we sit back in our industry and go, oh, that's cool. I see how they broke it. But we don't see the other side of it. We don't see the different laws and regulations that are being formed that impact us in our industry. So because of this, we wanted to actually have talks to actually address those issues. So we created our data privacy track. These talks are going to look at some of the different types of laws, rules, and regulations that affect our industry and give you the opportunity to understand how they impact us in the future and how we need to become more involved in help making these type of rules and regulations. And also, finally, our CISO track. This is our sixth talk, and I've had the opportunity to see a lot of folks come to our first one, second, third, etc., and I've seen them migrate up that career path from college graduate, new employee, junior engineer, senior engineer, SME. So as we've seen them progress throughout the industry, we've said, okay, the next stage is to go up to that C-level area, that management area. Those require unique skills that you probably won't find in a SANS, you will find a SANS class, but you won't find normally. You need to actually hear from a CISO or C-level executive on what some of the skills are. So we created our CISO track. We invited some of the top CISOs in the Central Florida area and from California to come down and give talks so that you get that extra experience. While yes, it is a technical track, but it also is a management track. So you can learn about what CISOs do and how they actually do it. So we hope you enjoy it. And finally, Code of Conduct. Okay, this is Nerd Prom. We all know this. This is our one time of the year we're going to hang out with everyone, talk shop, laugh, giggle, drink, do jokes, drink some more, etc. We encourage that. We want you to have a good time, but we want you to be considerate. Being provocative, bombastic, or, aggravative does not make you a SME, does not make you a god, does not make you anything, just makes you an a-hole. And that is a quick way to get thrown out. So have fun, enjoy yourself, talk, but please be courteous to everyone. Even though they may have different political views, race, color, creed, sexual orientation, be polite to everyone, because we're all in the same family. So yeah, have fun, but enjoy yourself. And you have anything?
You have 2 minutes.
All right, to have 2 minutes. With our conference, we like to start everything off with our lame joke for the year. So, hey, you get what you pay for. So our lame joke, what do you call a guy that who had his feet cut off? What did the guy who had his feet cut off say?
What did he say? Ow?
Oh no, you just defeated me. Thank you.
I have a lame joke.
All right.